Guys, I have Mel Duckenfield here with me today. And, a few months back, I was actually speaking out at Billy Graham's Cove in North Carolina. And Mel stepped up on the podium and he began reciting a poem. Now, this poem is basically inspired by Casey at the Bat. Now, for those of you who are not aware, Casey at the Bat was written probably about 100 years before I was born. But it is a legendary poem.
Yes.
And when Mill started speaking and each verse began to unfold, I realized, my goodness, it's the creation all the way through to the gospel and to eternity, all in one poem. And so Mel is here at the Wonder Center right
Yes.
now to share this poem with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're very welcome, David. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the saints of God that day. All who had gone before them came up short in many ways. Throughout the ages, clouds of witnesses watched the game unfold. God's image bearers versus Satan's sons, a contest to behold. Adam, who was the first at bat, fouled out and was disgraced. His failure as the first man up condemned the human race. Satan and his minions cheered as now the earth was cursed. I've got them now, he laughed with glee, resolved to do his worst. The seventh batter Enoch walked and made his way on home. Still Satan's forces appeared unmatched as all creation groaned. As Noah stepped in the batter's box, there was a rain delay. For 40 days and 40 nights, his fan base was dismayed. Eventually, the earth dried out. The game began anew. The opposing sides made their plans to do what they could do. Who can contend with this worthy foe, the image bearers cried. Just watch me for my signals, God said, and do as I prescribed. Why so many sacrifices? Why can't we swing for the fences? The cost for going long is steep. Trust me, it's very expensive. Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, Jacob all had their turns at bat. Moses, Joshua, Rahab, Gideon then added to their stats. Barak and Samson, along with Jephthah, cheered in celebration. David, Samuel, and the prophets excelled in motivation. In spite of all these valiant efforts, the game was not yet won. The final inning had arrived. The image bearers seemed done. With bases loaded, there was no man to drive the runners in. The odds seemed insurmountable as they all were stained by sin. Not all was lost. The saints all cheered. It was destiny. It was fate. Jesus, God's begotten Son, advanced up to the plate. Jesus, Holy Lamb of God, who brought the world new light. Jesus, bread of heaven, the way, the truth, the life. On the mound to oppose him was that evil serpent of old. You're mine, he boasted. For 30 pieces of silver you've been sold. In silence, Jesus stood, with countenance resolute. It's for this purpose that I was born, said he who's Jesse's root. The first pitch was a scorcher when Peter denied him thrice. Why didn't he swing, the saints all wondered as he took a second strike. Beaten, scourged, and bloodied, Jesus would not leave the game. I've not yet finished my Father's plan to wipe out human shame. I've saved my best for last, smirked Satan. Victory is mine. His boast was premature, however. This was by God's design. From Eden's garden to Golgotha and generations nigh, that evil serpent reached way back and let his fastball fly. Upon the cross, Jesus hung in shame, with thorns upon his head, as those who loved him stood and wept for their Messiah, now dead. It took some time for that final pitch to reach its destination. From Joseph's tomb, Jesus smacked that ball to third day's resurrection. All the saints of old came home as Abraham's bosom erupted. The stainless blood that had been shed could never be corrupted. With heaven's grand slam now complete, Satan was defeated. At the right hand of the Father, the Son of God is seated.